Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuned into a crazy little thing called Lovdev. Today's episode is 142. The Cornish Chucky.
It's a crazy little thing, this thing called Lovdev. It's a crazy little thing, this thing called Lovdev. It's a crazy little thing, this thing called Lovdev. It's a crazy little thing, this thing called Lovdev.
I've had a couple of dilemmas with Reddit. Got a ban from one of the forums on there that said, "You're violating our rules. You're not allowed to comment or post anything to do with this forum. We are the gods of this forum and we're the ones who make the rules for it." I've been banned from two forums, two that I cover on here. One was Unpopular Opinion. Well, originally, the other one was, what was it now? I think it was Ask the A-hole, right? So, Ask the A-hole, they said, "You've been flagged up for spamming the group." Basically, what I do is I tell people that I've covered your topic today on my podcast. If you want to have a listen, take a fancy, here's a link. I'm doing it to get the listeners, do you know what I mean? And I'm covering their topic. I don't know, maybe they want to hear it. Maybe they think it's funny. But no, one of their mods picked it up, right? So I thought, okay, they said you need to ask for permission if you want to do it. You can't just put your own thing on there. I thought, fair enough. That's a fair comment, right? So all the forums that I do, I messaged all the mods. One of them was like, "Mate, carry on, do what you want. It's great. Just don't put a link in." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I'll just tell them the name of the podcast and I'll give them the episode details." And another one, I told them, and they were like, "You have now been permanently banned. Unpopular opinion." They get their own frigging unpopular opinion there. "You've been banned from the group for spamming us." I'm like, I've just asked you for permission, and now you're like banning me. "We've reported you to the group. We've reported you to Reddit." I'm like, wow. That's what I just replied back with was, wow. You guys have gone that far. I'm trying to do something here. Okay, I understand. I might be, I'm just responding. I'm telling them I've covered the topic. They might want to hear it. No, these guys got control. They've got power. Maybe I should set up my own forum and say, these are questions that people can cover on podcasts. If you're happy to post it, carry on. Do what you want. No, some of them are, that one bloke who said, "Mate, do what you want. I'm not bothered. Just don't put a link in." See, that's basically what I want now. So I've had to go on Reddit and look for other topics. I can't think of anything else to say. Do you know what I mean? I might not just even tell them that I cover it. I just read it out. How are they going to know anyway? Unless they listen to this podcast, which means I get another listener. Talking about listeners, I did my show, Half Soaked, in Nottingham. Originally, I sold 5 tickets. One of them didn't turn up because he had something happened, which is fine. But I had 2 couples. They were very opposite to each other. They were sat opposite to each other. I had an older couple who basically just wanted a night out and they wanted to do something in Nottingham, but they didn't want to watch a movie. They wanted to watch something live, and my name come up, and they just thought, should we go and do it? Should we go and see it? So they bought tickets. Fair play to them. They were nice. And then on the opposite end, the other couple, they are my stalkers. So hello to Tom and Adele from Nottingham. I know you listen to my podcast every week. You know it's on a Monday. You guys probably just wait until it hits 9 a.m. Tom's straight on it. I think Tom listens to it first, I reckon. And then Adele will listen to it whenever she's got a chance. Unless they listen to it together, I don't know. That's what you do in a relationship, innit? Oh, I'm just going to listen to someone else talk. I'm sick of you, Tom. I can't keep hearing your voice. So Tom and Alan, they are fans of my podcast, but they weren't aware of my podcast until they saw me at a gig in Nottingham, obviously, because that's where they're from. And it was in when I did the gig in the caves. They saw me there. Tom said he was crying with laughter. It was that good. And he just started following me now. So he started stalking me and came to my show, which is a massive respect. I love that someone seen me live and thought, well, I want to see this guy. He's got potential. I don't know what but he's definitely got potential. So they were there and they were really nice. Tom knows everything about me, mate, because he listens to this weekly. We were talking about my telly, the LG one. He said, have you sorted the telly? Oh, yeah, man, sorted it now. So he knows more about me than my own wife does, probably. She don't listen to this. My missus, Sheila, she don't listen to this podcast. Well, that's what I think. I don't know. Maybe she does. I don't think she's a podcast type of person, to be honest. I don't think she is. But anyway, yeah, big shout out to Tom and Adele. Thank you for being such great fans, man. It's like, it's not weird, but like I don't get it. I never have that. I've had people in the past. So when I used to have a different Facebook account, which got hacked, unfortunately. And I had a couple of people that saw me at gigs. They spoke to me afterwards, and they became like fans, started following me and stuff, said I'm going to go far. And so like I've lost them now because I lost my old Facebook. I had loads of people, man. And now I've kind of like, because I got a new account, which is a bit more protected, I think. Who knows? Nothing's protected, really, is it? On the Tinternet. So I've lost all of them, and now I'm like kind of rebuilding my fan base again, which is fine. I would love a following. I would love that. I hope Adele and Tom did enjoy my show. I enjoyed it. Okay, there was 4 people. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things. You just... Because I said to myself, like, I knew the ticket sales were low anyway when Anthony, who runs the event, Rock Central Comedy Promotions, he told me, like, a couple of days before, he said, you've got 3 tickets. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. But then that's a fault on my end as well, because I didn't promote it as much. I didn't have any posters. No posters, no flyers. Who's going to know about it? Exactly. You do what you do, innit? But it was good to see Aaron Wood. Aaron Wood was on after me. I didn't really stick around because I think there was a closure on the motorway heading home, so I thought I'd better shoot off. And he had a full room, man, which was nice to see. It's nice to see comics having a full room. I hope he had a great show. I'm sure he did. But Adele and Tom, before I move on with the podcast, send me your address, and I will send you both a gift from me to you both. If there are other listeners out there, as I said, do send me a message. You can send me a message on my socials, or you can send it via Buzzsprout, which is what this podcast is hosted on. And I will help you I'll send you something, maybe. I don't know. I'm just a nice guy like that. So let's move on with the podcast. And because I've been banned from half of the forums on Reddit, I've decided to do this one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that's interesting. What is it that's really interesting? Well, this one is an interesting story. It's not a weird news story, but it's an interesting story that somebody's put up. Don't know whether it's fate or not. Who knows? Apparently, right, in 2001, there was this 10-year-old girl named Laura Buxton. And what she done, she released a balloon in the air. And this balloon travelled 140 miles, right? And it landed on a girl who had the same name, right? The same name, age, and appearance. And then what happened was these two Lauras, they actually met and discovered they had matching pets. So was it fate or like just by chance? There is a picture of them on this forum thing. And there's like a very older one where they're both 10 years old. And then there's a new one. I would say they're probably about 18-ish. They're still in their teens looking at this picture. I mean, how bizarre is that? For you to do something only for it to land to someone else who shares the same name. Imagine me releasing a balloon in the air and it travelled, let's say it travelled to India. It would have to, wouldn't it? If my balloon travelled anywhere in the United Kingdom, I doubt I'd find another Lovdev Barbega. I hope I said that right. I don't think there is another Lovdev. Could you imagine that? My balloon lands on someone else. His name's Lovdev as well. Barbega, weirdly. The same name. We share the same age. We share the same wife with the same name. We both kind of look alike. And we both got cats that we absolutely hate. I don't think that would ever happen. That's 1 in a million. But there are things that do happen like this, right? I've already mentioned ages ago, I'm sure I've mentioned this. I got a cousin who, I've got a cousin brother and a cousin sister. They're basically the first cousins, right? So my cousin, the boy, he's married to his wife, is from New Zealand, and they had a daughter on, I can't remember the actual date, but I know it's this month in November because they're both Scorpions. So when he had his child, my cousin, my other cousin, right? I'm bloody confusing myself here. So, siblings, that's it. They're not, like, done it together. That would be weird. Oh, my, no. So my cousin, he's a boy. He had a girl, right? His wife gave birth to a girl. And then his sister, she had a girl who was born on the same day. Literally, I think she was an hour or 2 hours just after his baby came. I mean, that is strange. That's 1 in a million. I don't know. Don't you think that's bizarre? There are things that do happen. Maybe it's fate. Maybe that balloon was like, I want to go back to my owner. I loved her to bits. Her name was Laura Buxton. But then it just landed up going to another Laura Buxton who was the same age. That's what I like this one. Oh, that's interesting. I forgot to mention it was... did everybody have a good Halloween then? How was your Halloween? I'll tell you what, Halloween was quiet this year. Normally, my door does not stop ringing. Right? I've got that doorbell, not one of them ring ones. I've just got a normal doorbell. And every time somebody presses it, it plays the theme tune to Big Ben. When I say theme tune, you know what I mean. When it goes, dun, 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 dun. So normally I hear that every 10, 15 minutes. It's going off on Halloween Day. But this year was very quiet. Although I wasn't here for most of it. I had a gig, didn't I? I was up in, where was I? Wigan, north of the UK. I was up there. Great gig, done well. Yes, usually it goes off, man. But this year it was quieter. I didn't have that many trick-or-treaters. I mean, I know there's a recession going on or something. There's something going on in this planet. I don't know what it is, especially in the UK. The comedy scene has died on its ass. Well, for me anyway. I just feel like there's less people going out now. I don't think they can afford it. So you'd think, if people are struggling out there, they want to, feed their kids. What's the best way to feed your kid? Get free sweets. Helps with their diabetes. So, yeah, I didn't have that many kids. And I bought loads of sweets as well, I went to Costco. I went crazy on the shopping. Bought loads of jelly sweets. those stringy sweets, you know, the ones with the laces. They're called laces, innit? Bought loads of those, UFOs, everything, crisps, the lot. Because I don't want to run out. Do you know what I mean? That's the worst thing you can do, is run out of sweets for Halloween. So, yeah, they were just like, these kids. I didn't have any kids. I must have had about 2 families that came to my house before I left for my gig. And when I got home, I noticed the sweet jar was still full. And I said to my missus, I said, haven't we had any trick-or-treaters? And she went, no, there was barely anyone. And we had like a beacon, like our house was proper gleaming, like a Batman signal. Do you know what I mean? Kids now only go to houses that have Halloween decorations. Our house was like, you know, glowing, obviously. We got a green light that we put on the porch that I mentioned. It's the only time it ever comes on, Halloween day. I can't even be asked to take the frigging bulb out the porch. So that just stays on. Then we got decorations, pumpkins and everything are outside. So, you know, our house is like, hello, we got free sweets here. Come on. Come and have your sweeties, kids. Maybe a samosa as well, because it's Diwali. I noticed a lot of Asians didn't celebrate Diwali on Halloween day. They did it, you know. Yesterday, today, it's Saturday, so Friday, there was fireworks going off. Oh, it was like Baghdad again. It was brilliant. I was thinking, why don't they want to mix it together? Although officially it was on the same day. And I know Sikhs and Hindus celebrate Diwali for different reasons. It's all the same thing, isn't it? It's all the same thing, mate. We all celebrate a very similar festivity, don't we? We just got different names for it. That's what mankind is like. Talking about mankind's, how about we do this?
Truth, am I the a-hole? Tell me the truth, am I the a-hole?
Tell me the truth, am I the a-hole? I told you guys that I've been banned from Am I the A-hole? Guess what? I found another forum that's Am I the A-hole? It's basically the same thing, but someone else has made one. So I'm going to do this one. So, I'm going to do this. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you who's going to do it. Our lovely Joe's going to do it.
Well, thank you very much for letting me do this. Hello everyone, it's Joe. So I'm going to do Ask the A-hole, because Lovdev said he's going to fill up his coffee again. So today's Am I the A-hole? It's been put up by somebody called John Wicks. Not the actual John Wicks, but he said he's the ghost of his dad. So the ghost of John Wicks. I think this is a bit Halloween related. I quickly saw the glance of the post and it said Halloween party. I thought, I wonder what that is then. So, John Wicks is asking everyone if he's an a-hole for forcibly removing and calling the police on a guest from his Halloween party. Well, it depends on what kind of trick-or-treat he was doing, I suppose, matey. So, John Wicks says he has an official Facebook group for adult trick-or-treating. Oh yeah, is it one of them type of groups, is it? Where everyone chucks a key in a bowl. I've been to a few of them. He says you can sign up in the group offering to provide alcohol beverages to adults that show up requesting a tipsy treat. People make a real effort to find creative cocktails to offer. And our block is exceptionally awesome, in his own opinion, of course. This year, we had a few of our neighbours decided to participate, and we all set up in our driveway to allow us to hang out together and reduce the effort required by tipsy treaters to visit several homes. So all was going well until my missus and another neighbour partner decided they needed to see what the other participants in the event were offering. They went around the neighborhood to visit other homes and returned with 2 guys in tow. Oh yeah. One of the dudes was a home brewer, like me. Oh, he's proper bragging himself, isn't he? So he immediately had something in common to discuss. I invited him to my house. This chap said he's invited a stranger that never met him straight into his house. He offered them several of my personal creations. All was good. Everyone was having fun. And I offer them to help themselves to whatever they want from my personal stash. Oh yeah, John Wick is a nice guy, isn't it? Go and help yourself to anything you want. Anyway, after a few hours, one of the guys politely excuses himself and he went home. By this point, there was close to a dozen of people hanging out in the kitchen, enjoying increasingly getting into conversation. There was no big deal. Everyone lives within a walking distance because they're all neighbours. So the drinks are flowing, everybody's having fun. Eventually, 2 of the guests, one of which being the stray of my wife, brought back, started having a conversation about the upcoming election. Oh, here we go. You don't want to talk about elections, especially if you're in the United States. You get heated, and the stray cat alternates between crying and becoming aggressive. Oh, it's Trump supporters against Kamala, whatever her frigging name is. I was out of the room when it started, but as soon as I returned and saw what was happening, I tried to end the discussion in the interest of everyone's good time. This is a party, I said to him, not the place for political nonsense. Well done on you, John Wick. That's what I would have done. Well, Stray Cat would not let it go. Despite repeated attempts, when it was clear he wouldn't move on, I asked him to leave. I said, can you go, mate? You don't want to do it anymore. He refused at me 15 times. At one point, I had to stop another guest from physically removing him. I was hoping for a peaceful resolution to let everyone continue enjoying their evening. So basically what he's saying is, long story short, after I announced everyone needs to leave because of this foolishness, he continued to stay and refused to stop forcing a conversation about politics. He accused me several times of supporting a candidate I love, and I finally had enough. I told him for the last time, leave or I'm the enemy of you, mate. He refused, so I pushed him several times until I finally got him out the door. For none of this, I do believe I'm not an a-hole. I avoided striking him. You did, mate. You didn't punch him. I would have. No one messes around with me. I'm Joe. I used to be a boxer. I avoided him being struck by another guest, definitely a non-zero probability. He was trespassing for 30 minutes after being asked to leave. Minor physical contact to remove him was the kindest option, and I'm proud I chose that. I wanted to kick his frigging head in. However, after he was out my house, he absolutely refused to leave my property. Mate, I would have frigging shot him in the head. He felt compelled to continue his argument for an hour outside my house. I finally threatened him, called the police, asked him to leave. He refused. He kept on with his rant, and then he started threatening my neighbours. I think this guy is more of the a-hole than you are, mate. John Wick. I might be the a-hole. That he works as an attorney. That says it all then. Police reports about his behaviour could affect his status with the bar, and he claimed to have a new baby at home. Maybe he didn't want this baby. Maybe that was the whole reason he started on all you lot. Even he says here, probably why he was at my house, drunk and being silly. But I feel like he left me no choice. I understand people do very stupid things when they're drunk. That's true. That's why Lovdev doesn't drink anymore. Do you know he used to be a big drinker back in the days? Every weekend he'd have a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of rum. I've been there, says John Wick, and I've done that. Unfortunately, I feel my dummies in imberated moments led to greater consequences. That said, his behaviour was unhinged to the point I felt like I needed a public record of his behaviour. He decided to damage our property. So, asked the a-hole for calling the police on a drunk attorney and further risking his career because he refused to leave my property. So basically, what John Wick is saying, everyone. Is he the AO? I don't think he is the AO at all. What do you reckon, Lovdev?
Thanks, Joe. I think you're right. I don't think John Wick is the AO, mate. I mean, someone's come to your house, right? You're throwing a party for all your neighbours. And one of your neighbours has a criticism because somebody made a comment about, I don't know, a political leader. Could be about anything. I know people have opinions, don't they, Joe? But, you know, you can't go to somebody's party and ruin it. And if they ask you to leave, you should just leave, man. But when you're drunk, that's a problem with alcohol. Like, you know, sometimes it's not good for our brains. In moderation is fine. But when you drink too much, I've been there, man. Joe's already bloody told you, like, I used to be an alcoholic. I wasn't an alcoholic. I probably almost could have been, though, for the amount I was drinking. And now that I don't drink, I'm an happy bunny. I know what I'm doing now. And my comedy's better, I think. Thanks for that, Joe. I think I'm going to wrap up the podcast. I haven't done a lot today, I'll be honest, have I? I've got to sort the kids out. They're still in bed, my children. I mean, it's almost midday and they're still asleep. I know they had holidays, but that's no excuse, is it? So let's finish the podcast with this. Today's weird news story. Because it's kind of still on the Halloweeny neeny beanie thing, right? And this story, before I go into it, it's from England. I know, we don't get many weird stories in England. It's to do with a doll, right? So I thought, I'm going to get my creepy friend to do today's weird news story. Normally I will do it, but let's get her to do it, because she's a creepy doll herself.
Hello, my name is Alice, and I'm a creepy doll. And Lovdev said I can do today's weird news. It's about a doll like me. Here is today's title of the story. The Cornish mom from Cornwall. She bought a haunted doll from eBay. Oh, how much did you pay? And life has took a very wild turn for her. Ha 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 ha. Shame on you. Candice Collins. Can I give a shout out to Candice Collins? She snapped up a doll that was found at an antique fair, even though it had a seriously spooky reputation. She believes the toy has been wreaking havoc on her life forever and ever. Mom said she bought the doll. Lots of pain to her family. Candice Collins. Shout out to Candice Collins. I don't know if her name is Candice or Candice. She said she's 42 years old. Happy birthday. She's from Cornwall. She purchased a creepy toy from Christian Hawksworth. Shout out to him as well. He found it in an antique fair for £3. That's a bargain. But decided to sell it after being riddled with bad luck. Christian suffered an exploding appendix. Being shot, his car brakes they failed, and his salary severely reduced, which he put down to the possessed doll. The doll done it. Ha 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 ha. So he put the doll up for sale on eBay for £200. He put it up for £200 and he only paid £3 for it. Despite hearing the horror stories, Candice was intrigued and purchased the doll. She claims the baby-faced figure with curly blonde locks and a striped shirt. It's called Norman. His name's Norman. He's a boy. You don't get many boy dolls, do you? And ever since the doll arrived in June 2023, she says life has took a really wild turn. As soon as I opened the box, the room went freezing cold. Maybe you didn't put on the central heating, bub. And a heavy depression filled the air. I knew then there was something wrong with this doll. It didn't feel right from the beginning, as soon as you come in my house. That's how I feel when Jehovah's Witnesses knock on my door because I'm a creepy doll. So I'll put him in a glass box with some holy water. Where did you get the holy water from, you mad woman? Since then I've worked with Norman a few times, but the same feeling comes over me. It fills my bones with dread. He's a good creepy doll. I want to marry him. Is he single? My health hasn't always been great, says Candice or Candice, whatever her name is. But it was under control since getting him. It's much worse. I have arthritis, headaches, and random bruises that come on my body for no reason. I've got a scratch on my back that looks like deep claw marks. My partner, Nick, needs a hip replacement that has taken a turn for the worse. It just feels like never-ending bad luck. I don't know if it's because of this demonic doll. But you're the one who's calling it a demonic doll. It's just a normal doll. And you bought this doll and you've had loads of bad experiences. Don't blame it on the doll. We're not all that bad. Candice or Candice. There's a paranormal hunter, and Haunted the doll collector even believes she overheard Norman giggling, and he was chatting to her 3-year-old son. She said in the night I can hear my little boy talking to someone. That's what children do, they talk to us. That's their called imagination. He also starts laughing, which is very strange. I've had nightmares, which can be troublesome. I wake up in a panic because I'm drowning or being attacked by a figure. I've even felt my hand being bitten while I was dreaming. I sensed something making sounds in our bathroom, and I heard an evil voice calling my name in my sleep. It all felt real. No, it didn't. You're making it up. But despite this, she doesn't want to throw the doll out, she said. He does remind me of something out of Chucky. He seems to get anything out his way. The bottom line is, if you're not safe around him, if you got children, he wants you to yourself. He's one of those kind of babies, loves attention. Bit like comedians. I would never trust him around a child. I think he's focused on manipulating them. He's a doll, for God's sake. He can't even move. I can move, though. I'm a real creepy doll. It whispers things, words that can cause real harm, even death. I really do think he's the most possessed doll in the UK, or even the world. To be able to inflict such pain, accidents he's done really makes you wonder how far he will go. I need to protect my family, said Candice Condice, whatever her name is. She uses sage, crystals, holy water. I don't like holy water. Anything I can. I want to prove there is life after death, and not all objects are evil. I'm not evil, I'm just a nice creepy doll. Some just need help, but I've got to keep my wits about it. She says you never know what happens next. Oh, Candice from Cornwall, you're absolutely hilarious. Anyway, Lovdev said I can end the podcast because he's not bothered. He's gone to do something else. He's having a rant with the mods on the Reddit groups. So, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, why don't you tell all your creepy doll friends to listen to it? Maybe leave a review. Have a lovely day. Bye.